Good morning to you. We are the host of the area's only live local talk and entertainment show, Virginia This Morning. Amy Lacey and I are so proud to be your host. I'm Bill Bevins.
And I am the Amy Lacey who he speaks of, and I am so proud to be here today. A big thank you to all of our guests watching us from home, work, or on wtvr.com. We certainly appreciate your viewership, and we continue to aim to bring you the very best of what Central Virginia has to offer. That's each weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. We have made it to another weekend eve. So here we go.
Halfway through, well, actually, right over halfway through the month. Yeah.
I know. It's this, I feel like since, I guess it's an age thing, but time just seems to go so much quicker, and there's always so much to do. That's a part of it.
And I'm the guy who's like, you know, the day after Christmas, like, okay, Christmas is over. Can we have spring yet?
I'm the same way. I mean, let's turn up the thermostat and let's get it to be a good 72 degrees, but no allergens out there. We don't want the allergy season just yet.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be great just to kind of have some warmer temperatures?
Yeah, well, we keep our fingers crossed. It happens all the time, but you know, we've had winter in Virginia for the first time in a long time, and you know, we've got a ways to go yet, but you know, I'm always waiting for the warm weather, and obviously not today. Yeah,
well, you know what? I am going to call it a win, though, because do you notice we're at the time of year where about a minute each and every day it's more daylight in the evening.
Yep.
So that, I would say, is a win, and it's going to get us through until we get our 72
Yeah, I didn't
degrees.
have to rush through lunch yesterday before dark.
I know, right? How about that?
Let's get going. All right, we have a great friend, James Saxmo Gates. He's one of the top musicians in Central Virginia. By day, he's an assistant professor of music and director of jazz studies at Virginia State University. During his free time, he has free time? On his free days, he enjoys performing as a solo artist with several groups around the area. We're going to share a full musical performance later, but first, here's a little preview.
Those are some smooth sounds right there. Marianne Clyde is a licensed therapist who focuses her practice on encouraging and supporting women over 50 to live their best lives. She's proud of her latest project, Supernova Woman, Reimagining Life After You Turn 50. We will share our conversation with her coming up later on today's show. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And we do like to be everywhere you are. We know 2025 is going to be full of fun and adventures, and we're going to see what you've been up to if you send us a shot. If you have a great snapshot or video to share, please send it our way like this viewer did.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice escape from the winter, huh?
Yeah, let's go. All right, we'll tell you all about this one and share a few others that landed in our inbox overnight.
And this is the type of weather for some comfort food. How about an old-fashioned Dutch oven beef stew that's made with tender chunks of meat, fresh veggies, and potatoes all simmering in a savory, rich gravy? It sure sounds good to me. We will pass along this easy-to-make virtual recipe coming up in our second half hour.
Okay, so did you say Dutch oven? That's the big pot.
Yeah, it's the big pot, like that, yeah.
Do you have a crock pot in your house?
I have a crock pot, I have a Dutch oven, I have the Instant Pot, I have all the pots because I am a soup enthusiast. Even in July, we were talking about the warmer weather. I don't think it's ever too hot to eat soup.
And I love soup too. I am. And do you have a favorite soup? Because I do.
Gosh, anything. I probably make soup once a week, but I mean, I love making, you know, lentil soup and all kinds of vegetable soups, make a chicken soup, and I think they're all good.
Brunswick stew's my all-time favorite.
Well, it's delicious. I've never made it, actually, for real. I've made things that are sort of inspired by Brunswick stew, but I like to go out and buy Brunswick stew and enjoy it in restaurants.
Inspired Brunswick stew. Okay.
Inspired Brunswick stew.
Well, maybe we'll do a trip down to Brunswick, Virginia.
We should do it. We should invite them. We should invite them here on the show. They can bring the stew to us.
Even better. Okay, we
like that.
We'll do that. I love all kinds of soups. We had chicken and dumplings the other night, made in a crock pot.
Beautiful.
And it was kind of soupy, and I love that.
Well, it's what's great about the crock pot, though, is that you can, as the old infomercial used to say, you can kind of set it and forget it. You know, you can get it going in the morning, and then by the time dinner comes, you didn't really do a whole lot during the day, and it's ready to go.
Not doing a whole lot's kind of my mission.
I mean, mine too, but I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there.
All right, we'll keep working on that. Folks, we have to not do anything for a few minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break.
Happy Friday, Central Virginia. We hope your day is off to a great start. It is January 17th. Ooh. I'm Amy Lacey.
I'm Bill Bevins. Folks, we cover a lot of interesting topics and things that are trending in and around the area. So let's get to it. Let's get started.
Here's a little teaser. We've got some great music today. We will share a tasty virtual recipe and so much more. We hope you'll stay tuned for our live hour of programming right here on CBS 6.
Comfort foods are perfect to enjoy any time of the year, but a dish served hot and fresh out of a Dutch oven or a crock pot really hits the spot on a cold winter's day.
Grab your pen and paper. You want to write down this next recipe. Take a look.
Love the recipes you see on the show? Visit virginiathismorning.com. Click on the Recipes tab and find your favorites to try out on your own.
Welcome back, everyone. Deborah Porter is a sought-after media contributor on parenting, motherhood, and work-life balance. We want to share a conversation that she recently had with Andreas White Murdaugh.
Well, our next guest is always plugged into what's happening in the world of parenting. And today, she's talking with me about some modern parenting trends. Here to lead the conversation is our good friend, Deborah Porter, a popular workplace parent consultant. And it's always nice to be with you.
It's great to be here. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
The last time we saw each other was outside of the studio, and here we are today. And I always feel like I'm a better parent after I've spoken with you. So I'm excited about today's conversation because we're thinking about not only today, but tomorrow, and what today looks like may be different than it looked like in the past. So we're talking about modern parenting trends, and you have several to share with us.
I do. And, you know, as they say, there's nothing new under the sun, but things are starting to take a different look and a bit of a different bent to them. So when we talk about one of the parenting trends right now is global citizenship, parents are wanting to raise their children to not just be aware of other cultures and respectful, but to actually experience them. So we've got parents that are now homeschooling, and they're taking that to a whole nother level. They are actually traveling the country, and not just that, there are some families that are homeschooling and literally traveling internationally for their children to actually be immersed into other cultures and other experiences and other languages. And so this is kind of homeschooling on steroids, where children are learning literally in the world.
And you know, it's an interesting perspective because the world has changed. What's happening in the world, it's important to expose your children, but also to protect them as well. But exposure is a word that comes to mind all the time when I think about parenthood and what sets your child apart. So for those children who maybe are not homeschooled, but have parents who are still wanting to focus on global citizenship, what type of advice do you have for them?
I think what we need to do is think about what's in our own backyard, right? We are here in Richmond, in the capital of the state, but we're also not that far from the capital of our nation. And so there are a host of museums available, and they're all free because your tax dollars are paying for them. So I think we need to just think about what's within a decent driving range. What can we get to? What can I pack up the car, pack up some sandwiches, and take my kids to see, to be able to take them outside of their comfort zone a little bit, but it's right in their backyard and you can experience it very close to home.
That's a great point. I've spent some time in DC. It's an easy drive, a little bit easier and less expensive than taking a flight, maybe especially an international one, but there's so much culture to be seen. Such a great reminder. All right, and now families are looking a little bit different and support systems look a little bit different. I am fortunate to have a husband who is an incredible dad, and there's so many incredible dads all across the world. So some dads may be comfortable in that space, some of them may be learning to be comfortable in that space.
Very true.
Where can we find the perfect resources for dad?
So dad parenting resources is on the rise. Right, most of the books for parenting in years past really have been geared toward us. It's been geared towards moms. But there are dad parenting groups, there are dad Facebook groups, there are dad life coaches available. And so all of these things are now available to dads who want to be a bit more connected, a bit more involved, maybe take on more of the caregiving responsibilities that have traditionally kind of been for mom to do. And so there's tons of support available for dads to do that. And I think the great thing about this is that parenting is a team sport, right? It's not just mom. This really is something that both of us need to have a hands-on to contribute in that way too.
We did an interview once upon a time about the primary parent and how that looks different for every family. And so I think about this in this moment as well when we think about preparing dad so that it's not necessarily always the same primary parent. There could be reasons and seasons for that. All right, so lots of parents are also working outside of the home.
Right.
And there are programs that you've reminded us of that are available as we think about the wellness of the parent and all that we have to do in a given day.
What I love about this, parenting wellness programs are inside your organizations and businesses now. This is great for so many different reasons. If you can support the parents that work in your organization, then you can have a more productive individual. If you can bring in an expert, if you can bring someone to help with work-life balance, to give parenting tips, to give some strategies, one, that is showing that parent that you are concerned about them as a whole individual. It's not just about what they can produce for you, but you're concerned about who they are and what impacts them outside of work as well. And so this is taking off. It's not new. Employee resource groups, as they're called, it's not a new thing. But since COVID, you know, we're all on these Zoom calls and seeing these little half-dressed kids running back and forth. It's really increased to be able to figure out how do we support working parents and caregivers in that space, but also do it while they're here at work.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Such great reminders, and we're already out of time, but I could talk to you all day. You have resources available online. Tell us a bit more.
Yes, so I would love for you to follow me on Instagram, Deborah Porter, Ultimate Mom Coach, as well as on my website. And don't neglect artificial intelligence. AI is really supporting parents now. There are many different ways that we can do that as well.
Okay, we've got to come back and talk about that for sure because I'm intrigued and haven't jumped in just yet. Thank you always.
Thank you.
For more information on this topic or the services that Deborah Porter provides, be sure to look for a link on our show website by early this afternoon at virginiathismorning.com.
That is the best jingle of the day. We are looking forward to continuing this fun tradition of featuring fun moments in our Everywhere You Are segment.
Absolutely. Folks, it is time to crack open the inbox. What's up first, Amy?
Okay, take a look at this. Over the holidays, the Thumbs Up Foundation was busy creating meals for the families at UVA Children's Hospital. Also, Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU, we give them 2 thumbs up for doing that for members of the community.
Good job. Check out this photo. Keith Beers enjoyed the holiday season at the Pianki River, and it looks incredible and wonderful. And yep, that is a bald eagle flying by on the beautiful Pianki.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. You spend a lot of time on the Pianki
I do as much as I can.
It's a magical place.
Yeah.
Christy Hales is out bird watching and grabbed these photos in Brunswick County. Absolutely beautiful. That's a bluebird, right?
It is a bluebird.
I always thought that they were just blue, but they have that beautiful scarlet there too. Yep. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous bird.
Very nice.
The box is open for you to drop one of your fun moments inside to get those cameras ready.
All you got to do is upload a high-resolution image or video to one of our social media channels, or you can simply email us at virginiathismorning@wtvr.com.
This segment is sponsored by Lightbridge Academy, Glen Allen.
I'm here on the brand new playground of Lightbridge Academy, opening in early 2025, and I have the pleasure of checking back in with Mandy Dingra, the owner, Dr. Barbara Valentine, Director of Education, and Kathy Reed, the Director of this beautiful center. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a pleasure it is. Last time we were here, this was dirt, and now we have a beautiful playground for what will be the brand new Lightbridge Academy. Tell us a little bit about why Lightbridge is different in the early childhood education field.
Well, really, when my husband and I started looking for opportunities and, what we could really launch into the Richmond market, when we stepped back as parents, the one thing that we found was important to us was curriculum. Yes, we want great care for our children, but we also want them to go into kindergarten ready. And that's what really prompted us to look into Lightbridge, and that's why we eventually fell in love with Lightbridge because of the proprietary seedlings curriculum.
And there's a lot of technology that's built in to this curriculum. Dr. Valentine, you have put together what will be the most incredible opportunity for our young ones to prepare for kindergarten, and your classrooms look like what they'll see.
Absolutely. We all know that in today's world, technology is very prevalent, especially in the kindergarten and elementary classrooms. So what we have here at Lightbridge are classrooms in our preschool and our pre-K classrooms that really mirror and get them ready for what is expected in kindergarten. We have our interactive whiteboards where teachers can conduct their whole group lessons using our Marco Polo school app. And then we also have iPads in our preschool and pre-K classrooms so that they can explore on their own.
And I love that aspect of technology and how you infuse that into all of the programs that you have at many different developmental ages.
Absolutely. So starting in our infant classroom and working its way up to our preschool classrooms, our students are engaged in singing sprouts, signing sprouts, and even Spanish sprouts. We introduce STREAM, which is similar to STEAM or STEM, but we incorporate that reading component. In our older classrooms, they're introduced to handwriting without tears. As an elementary teacher, I love this because it gets them ready for that reading and writing preparedness that they'll be expected in kindergarten.
Very exciting. Now, construction still underway, and that means your construction offer, you still got a little bit of time to take advantage of it.
That's right. Our construction offer is still underway. It's up to $500 off your first month's tuition, but that is wrapping up soon as we wrap up construction here.
As you said, construction is almost complete, and we want to take advantage of that offer. So there's still time to come and do a tour. How do we get on the schedule?
Well, we encourage our families to definitely go to our website at lightbridgeacademy.com. They can personally schedule their own tour there. or they can call us at 804-688-4550, and we'd be happy to schedule it for them.
That's right. Go right to the website, make your tour appointment, and make sure you get over here to the beautiful Lightbridge Academy, opening in early 2025. We cannot wait to see little folks running through this playground and getting ready for an incredible educational experience here at Lightbridge Academy. To learn more, visit our website, virginiathismorning.com. The Lightbridge Academy Glen Allen is located at 4916 Dominion Boulevard in Glen Allen, Virginia. You can give their team a call at 804-688-4550. Visit them online at lightbridgeacademy.com/Glen-Allen-VA. Find them on Facebook.com/Lightbridge Academy Glen Allen.
Welcome back to our Friday morning show. CBS 6 is proud to be a part of the 47th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Community Leaders Celebration that happened earlier this morning at the downtown Richmond Marriott. You can watch this special presentation today at 2 p.m. on CBS 6. Mr. B, what's coming up next?
All right, welcome back. Folks, our live show is here every weekday morning, and we've met some really talented musicians over the years. Some have appeared on our live show as solo acts, while others moonlight with a bunch of different various groups. This next guest has made a name for himself on the Richmond music scene. Chances are you've heard of him. Here is James Saxmo Gates performing Lush Life. Once again, that's James Saxmo Gates with Lush Life. This licensed therapist wants to encourage women over 50 to shine their brightest. Amy connected with her, and we wanted to share that conversation with you again.
Her new book, Supernova Woman, Reimagining Life After You Turn 50, is for women who want to change their lives. It's been a few years since she's been here, and we are happy to welcome licensed therapist Marianne Clyde back to Virginia this morning. Thank you for bringing your new book here.
Oh, thank you. I wouldn't go anywhere else. This is great. Thank you.
What is this comparison that you make between women and supernovas?
Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Because it's an important question, because when I found out, I'm in love with Orion, the constellation.
Okay.
And when I found out that his right shoulder is going to become a supernova, it's a star called Betelgeuse.
Okay.
And I found out that stars go through a similar crisis time as women in their 50s when we go through menopause, believe it or not. So the star, then gravity kicks in like it's going to implode you, and it explodes you into the brightest star that you could ever be for the rest of your life. So it sounds like most of the 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 80, 90-year-olds that I know. So you make a decision. Of course, the star doesn't make a decision, but we make a decision.
We can make a decision. And why is it important to see your life, what it's going to be in 50, 60, 70, 80s and beyond?
Great question. Because it's so important. Our society, lovely as it is, tends to promote women taking a back seat after maybe 60. You know, it's time to slow down, time to stay home, time to, you know, just have a good time, and which I'm a big proponent of, having a good time, but I'm a proponent of being purposeful about your life, giving the impact to the world that the world needs from you specifically, or from another woman specifically. We've got more time, more money, more network, more talent, skills, wisdom at our age. So it's important, not at your age yet, but you're getting
I'm close.
This.
I'm close.
There you go. But it's such a privilege to grow older, and we should bless the world with the gifts that we have.
Yeah.
Whether it's loving our grandchildren or starting a business or, you know, running for political office, whatever it is, we can make an impact.
I'm so fortunate that through my work over the years, I have met incredible women who are over 50, and they are giving back to the community in so many different ways. I've interviewed women who maybe are volunteering almost countless hours a week, or they're writing books, or they are, you know, making changes for school systems and everything in between. They have such passion, and I'm always so inspired by it. But then I'll talk with other folks who say that it's a little bit harder to find the passion. Why is it harder for some folks to find their passion?
That's a really good question too, because first of all, I think a lot of our passion or our dreams have kind of taken a back seat for so many years when we're taking care of everybody else, doing what we're supposed to be doing and doing the right thing all the time, that we kind of forget what it is we used to dream about. So I encourage women to think, what did you want to be when you were a kid? And start just beginning to do the little things you love, whether it's being with your dog, being with your grandchildren, or climbing mountains, or jumping out of an airplane, or doing a lot of volunteer work, working for NGOs, creating your own NGO.
Yeah.
I mean, the women in my tribe tend to be really exciting and vibrant women.
Yeah. Now, of course, exciting and vibrant women. Can men also benefit from this message?
Absolutely, because I was sitting next to a guy, my husband and I were out to dinner the other night, and he said, oh, my wife follows you, she reads all your emails, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, but, you know, the message isn't really for me. And I said, absolutely it's for you, because there's many men that will come up to me and say, I need this. I need to repurpose my life. I need to find a new purpose, you know, because it's difficult for men to retire as well.
Sure.
And, you know, and there's so many things that we could be doing. And the other thing is we get a little bolder, a little more outspoken, because we don't really care what people think quite as much as
But
we
you
used
earn
to.
that right after a certain age.
That's right.
Something too, it sounds just talking with you and knowing a bit about the book, it's intention like everything else. You have to go into this stage of life and say, I'm going to live a more purposeful life.
Absolutely. Just every day to be grateful and say, like what I wake up for, it's how can I love the people in my path today? How can I make up a purposeful decision today? What do I want to do today? Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of fun stuff, marathons, climbed to Mount Fuji, I've trekked to Everest Base Camp, jumped out of airplanes, lots of fun stuff, but they weren't really on my bucket list. It was because one day maybe I saw somebody on Facebook jumping out of a plane with their mouth wide open going, wow, that looks like fun. I think I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just making a decision to do something.
Well, we only have this one life to live. Thank you for bringing in this awareness of how we can make 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond that much more purposeful.
Oh, Amy, you so get it.
I do
Thank
get
you.
it. I'm
Thank
already
you.
looking forward to my years.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate you coming in today. And here's more information about Supernova Woman, Reimagining Life After You Turn 50. It's now available. If you'd like more information about Marianne Clyde, check out our website at virginiathismorning.com.
Big old thank you for sticking around, coming back from the commercial break. If you can't watch our show live and want to stay up to date with our segments, you can visit Virginia This Morning at wtvr.com anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are other options too, such as viewing on one of these apps, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV channels. If you need the app, just visit the App Store on your device and search WTVR Richmond. Folks, it's absolutely free. All right, losing weight and getting in shape is a top New Year's resolution for millions of Americans. If you set that goal for yourself, it's day 17 of the new year already. How you doing? Yoga is a perfect way to accomplish this. We wanted to share this segment with you again.
There is a form of yoga for everybody in every stage of life. I personally know that, and I'm happy to be joined today by certified yoga instructor Beverly Byer, who's here along with Vasu Saravana Pavan. And I'm going to be taking part in the demonstration today, and I am so excited about it. We welcome both of you to Virginia This Morning. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
If you want more information about yoga, where can people really find out about it?
Well, of course, you can always go online, but in every city, in every place, there is a yoga studio that you can go in and you can view the different types of yoga that they may offer that might be most appropriate for you. And it doesn't matter your age, your body type, if you're athletic or not, there is a yoga for everybody at any age, from child to senior citizen.
What are the different types of yoga? Because I've tried quite a few and they are all a little different from each other.
Well, there's the most popular one is Vinyasa yoga, which is constant movement. Then for those who are reticent about really getting into that dynamic, there's Yin yoga, where you hold a pose for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and the setting is usually cool. There's restorative yoga, which is excellent for people that have had back injuries or who are recuperating from a serious illness. It is very restorative. It's very passive, but at the same time, you're really elongating and stretching those muscles and tendons.
And for someone who is maybe a beginner who's out there watching today, and even sitting at home, there's sometimes chair yoga that you can do that kind of gets started.
Well, yes, but my preference for the average person just beginning, take a gentle yoga class. Yeah. And this way you get the basic fundamentals of each pose in the easiest way. Chair yoga would be more appropriate for an elderly person or someone who's going through a rehab process.
But there is something that you can do no matter what state of life
Absolutely, absolutely, even with pregnancy.
I did that. I had a date with my daughter. Every Sunday we did our prenatal yoga, and then when she came into the world on the outside, she joined me until she was crawling. So it was a really beautiful bonding experience too. Well, I want to get started because I'm really eager to try out your flow. So let's get started, and maybe some folks at home, if you want to join us, that would be great.
Okay, please step into the center of your mat and come into a tabletop position. Okay, hands and knees are hip distance apart. Your back is flat and parallel to the floor. Your gaze is slightly at the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take another deep breath in, and as you do, push your hips back. Keep your knees slightly open. Forehead comes down to the floor, and now it's child pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Come back up into tabletop position. Tuck your toes and push your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Take another deep breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, step up to the top of your mat. Hands to shin, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up, extend your arms up into mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold, forward fold. Hands to shin, halfway lift again. Hands to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Prepare, inhale, step up to the front of the mat. Again, halfway lift, forward fold, rise up into mountain pose, and this time, lower your hips down, chair pose. Lower a little bit more. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Hands to shin, step back, downward facing dog, right foot forward, warrior one, rise up, hands to mat, step back, vinyasa flow, high plank to low plank, to upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one, rise up, chair pose, hands to the mat, step back, vinyasa flow again, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. We'll do one more vinyasa. Step up to the front of the mat. Hands to shin, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose. Forward fold again. Hands to shin. Hands to the mat. Step back. Vinyasa. Breathe in. High plank, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale again. Step up to the front of the mat. Hands to shin, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose. Hands at heart center. Thumbs to forehead. Namaste.
Namaste. Wow, so beautiful. I forgot I was on TV for a moment because I got lost in the yoga. But you know, with the breathing, that's a part that we didn't talk about before. It's such a part of the practice, just to really calm your body and really to honor your body.
Absolutely, and yoga simply means a union of breath and movement. And one of the great advantages of yoga is the mental and emotional aspects of it. It's an active meditation, okay? So if you are some people like to golf.
Yeah.
Your mind is focused on what you're doing. Everything else is tuned out. It gives you a moment to decompress. Yoga also improves mental clarity because when you're relaxed, you're able to focus.
Yes, you can.
And you're able to deal with stress too.
Well, we all have that power inside of us to take care of our bodies how we need to, and our body, mind, and spirit all at the same time. Thank you both for coming in and sharing such a beautiful practice with us today.
And thank you for having us.
We'll bring you back some other time.
Namaste.
Namaste. If you want more information on Transform Power Yoga, please visit the link we'll post on our show website later today at virginiathismorning.com.
Big old thank you again for spending part of your day here with us. We appreciate the privilege of your time.
Today was a really fun show. We had a lot of new elements, but it was fun to look back at that yoga segment. That was one of my first segments ever that I recorded here way back in July. So it's a great way to show folks that they can get active in the new year.
We talked about beef stew, and it reminded me, I almost laughed when you first said it, because when I was a kid, I worked on a farm, and one of my cousins had a bull. His name was Stu.
Oh, his name was Stu. Oh, I knew.
And I didn't get it until much later on. And they go, "Hey, Stu." Anyway, yeah.
I knew someone who had a pot-bellied pig as a pet, and its name was Bacon. Yeah, so you know.
I'm
there
sure
you go.
he didn't mind.
No.
As long as the food was there. Well, we're here for just a little bit longer, but we're going to leave you today with some great music, a performance from a Boston-based guitarist and composer who performs all over the United States and Canada.
Here's a special musical presentation from guitarist Ron Bossy with special guest Grammy Award-winning keyboardist Jeff Lorber. Oh. Have a fantastic Friday, everybody. Enjoy a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday morning. That starts at 8:56 a.m. We'll see you then.